Okay, we'll go ahead and begin because Ms. Fuentes is actually on some limited time today. She is back at work. And before I allow her to address everyone, let me go ahead and just give you a little rundown. What we're going to do is if you have a question or when you have a question for Regina, go ahead and raise your hand, use the bottom, or sometimes it appears at the top. And use the raise hand function. You can also go to the bar on the right hand side where it says participants, click on your name, and you should be able to choose to raise your hand. That will put you in the queue, and then I will call on you and unmute as you come up in the queue. So if you know you have a question, jump on getting your little blue paw put up so that you end up in the participant queue for questions. And we will try our best to get, oh, you don't see a raise hand function. Let me see. Well, what I'm going to suggest then, my apologies. Oh, it's a reaction. That'll work. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. We'll use a reaction. So I'm allowing that now. Recognize hand gestures. So we'll do our best to make sure everyone gets their questions answered before Regina has to go back to her contractual duties. Okay. So Regina, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. You'll need to unmute yourself as well, and we will begin.
Okay. All right. August 25th, 2022 at 2:38 a.m. this morning, after almost 14 continuous hours of negotiation, the bargaining teams from the Columbus Education Association, CEA, and the Columbus City School Board reached a comprehensive conceptual agreement on a new labor contract covering nearly 4,500 teachers, librarians, nurses, counselors, psychologists, and other education professionals employed by Columbus City Schools, tentatively ending the district's first teacher strike since 1975. This deal would not have been possible without the unwavering support of parents, community members, organized labor, and local businesses in Columbus. It is a citywide effort that allows CEA to win the schools Columbus students deserve. We would like to also acknowledge the hard work of federal mediator Joe Trejo in bringing the district back to the table today. CEA is excited to share details with the community. However, members will first review and vote on ratification of this comprehensive conceptual agreement. A mass membership meeting is being planned for this weekend, at which time the CEA core bargaining team will recommend ratification, potentially ending the 3-day strike. The board is scheduled to vote on the agreement following CEA's ratification. If both parties approve the deal, classes will resume Monday for students on Monday. We recognize the sacrifices students, parents, and teachers alike have made during the last 3 days as we fought for our schools that Columbus students deserve. Let the history books reflect that this strike was about students who deserved a commitment to modern schools with heating and air conditioning, smaller classes, and well-rounded curriculum that includes art, music, and PE.
Thank you, Regina. First up, I'm going to go ahead and unmute Karina from NBC4.
Hi, Regina.
Hi.
I just wanted to touch base and hear what the schedule is like for teachers these next couple of days. You guys are back in the classroom, you're working. Can you talk about what teachers will be doing at this time?
So today was a planning day to kind of get our minds back into teacher mode, I guess. And then tomorrow we will be going back to the buildings to actually start setting up our rooms, all those things we normally do at this point. And then over the weekend, whenever the meeting is set up, then we will actually be able to see the documents that were proposed. And then back
Okay.
on school Monday.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Next we have Spectrum News 1. I'll go ahead and unmute you.
Hi, Regina. It's Jamila Muhammad with Spectrum News 1. My question for you is just simply, have the teachers already kind of spoken to some of their students excited to get back in the classroom come Monday? I know some teachers out on the picket line yesterday that I spoke to say that, some students have reached out, even come to the picket line. Has there been, conversations between teachers and students these past few hours excited to get back?
Man, let me tell you, our students showing up on the picket lines was like the most emotional thing ever. Like, they really showed us their love and support, and they didn't just show up alone. They showed up with their parents and members of the community, and they really did back us in this process. And I hope they understand that this was not something that we did alone, that we did this because of the parents and the students who came together to really draw this to a close.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Megan from the Dispatch.
Hi, Regina. Thank you for taking the time to talk. I was just wondering if you could elaborate on what with this deal was different than previous deals that were brought up during these negotiation sessions. I mean, there have been so many negotiations. So what made this one better than the other ones?
So the specific details of the deal will not be released until our members are the first ones to see it. That's when we have our mass meeting. And we're trying desperately to get a place that can hold 4,500 teachers as quickly as possible. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. We can speed this along. But for right now, we don't know the particulars of it, but we have complete trust and our bargaining team. They have been excellent. They really put in the hours and the times, and our confidence is in this deal. And if they say that, we've come to an agreement, then we're going to take what they say.
Next up, we have Bennett. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon, Regina. Bennett Haberly with 10 TV. I think there are a lot of people out there that are still hungry for information. I know you said you don't want to say the specifics of this deal, but can you give us something? What tipped the scale? Was it the commitment you guys wanted pen to paper of how and when the district is going to fix the schools? Was it smaller class sizes? What was it that tipped the scale?
Well, it's not just that I don't want to say anything. I don't know the details. I am not a core bargaining member. And for, if we're going to follow the Constitution, our Constitution and our bylaws, this is the procedure that we must take. And we must give our members the ability to be able to see the proposal first, to decide if they want to vote to ratify it. And then the process will be, putting it out to everyone else.
Okay. Next is Lacey. Thank you, from WBNS. Go ahead and unmute Lacey.
Hi, Regina. How are you?
Hi, Lacey.
I was just wondering how good it feels to be able to reach this compromise without delaying any more school days for the children.
Well, all of our emotions have been, here. Every day we're, out there, and, we're given hope and adrenaline by the community coming by, and it was intense. This was not a decision that came lightly. We made a true sacrifice in doing this. And we hope that the community really pulls together. I know that we'll be a much tighter organization because of this. And I just hope that, that the community doesn't stop here, that, they see that there's power in coming together and unifying for one really, really purposeful cause. And that, I think that's the most powerful thing to come out of this.
We'll go back to Karina. Go ahead and unmute Karina. NBC4.
Hello. Hello again. Circling around with another question when it comes to benefits and pay. Do you know when those will be active again? Has there been any word from the district at that point? Are they waiting until after the meeting? Because we know that was an action that they did take.
I do not know the details of that. I assume that those details will be told to us at the mass meeting. As far as reactivation and everything, you know, we're kind of waiting to see about that as well.
I can clarify though, our teachers are back on paid status beginning today. They are, they're working. They're doing remote planning from home. They are back on the payroll today and tomorrow.
Thank you, Amber.
We'll go to Megan with the dispatch.
Hi, thanks for taking another question of mine. I know you say you can't talk about the details of the contract. Can you confirm if the last offer was still 8% raises for staff?
No, I can't confirm anything about any of the details. I don't know them. And to answer your question, I saw Corinna about the benefits for medical. I'm assuming that it's because we're back in, that will also kick back in. I just don't know as far as the timeline or when the button will be pushed for everything to go. But hopefully it's retroactive back to today when we are back on the clock.
Okay, going to Bennett. Go ahead and unmute.
Just to follow up, I know you've said you can't share details. Could you share any descriptors, or how would you characterize this? I mean, have you had conversations with people on the bargaining team who could at least give you some sort of, you know, are you guys considering this a win, or were there, you know, I guess that's kind of what we're looking for, is just sort of a description of how you guys take this.
Well, the only thing that I can give you is what was put out in that video on our Facebook page, and we can almost feel the adrenaline and the emotion in that video that this is a win. This is a good deal. So we are going off of what we know about our bargaining team. They are a great team and they are fighters, and that we know that they put everything into this deal. So the confidence is high that, you know, they're telling us good things.
Okay, and to ABC6, next in the queue, go ahead and unmute.
It's Luann. Hi.
Hi, Luann with ABC6. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for taking these questions. Regina, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but we've had a lot of viewers asking us, will there be able to be football games this Friday night?
Our football coaches certainly hope so. That was their motivation for getting out there, you know, especially ours. He was like, football. So I sincerely hope that, because we're back, I think that the activities are rolling again, and the fact that we got this done, you know, before Friday night, I'm surely hoping, for the sake of our kids and our coaches, that yes, that is the case. Go Friday night football.
And I'm going to go ahead and unmute Noah. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. I'm wondering, how important is the district coming up with like a really concrete long-term facilities plan? How important is that to addressing the issues you bargained this time, and preventing them from having to be a sticking point in the future, in terms of, you know, that plays into HVAC and class sizes and things like that?
Well, I'm really hoping those details are laid out to us in the plan, considering that was one of the biggest things that we were we're fighting for. So I'm going to wait to see, and we're all going to wait to see what is laid out specifically about that, since it was such an important point. And hopefully it is in line with what the members wanted.
All right, I am not seeing any more raised hands. Oh, I take that back. Let's go back to Luann one more time.
Hi again. I am watching this with a pastor friend, and he wanted to know, how do you think morale is? Do you think that this strike has brought your teachers and the community closer together? And do you think the morale is good going into Monday?
I feel like the morale is definitely got a boost. This contract is as good as our bargaining team is telling us it is. Yes, I believe that this is only going to pull us all together, not just teachers, but the community, you know, as far as reaching across from school to school. It has just been so beautiful. And our parents, I think, really, really see just how committed and caring the Columbus Education Association is.
And let's go to Tyler with Axios. Go ahead and unmute.
Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. We heard Mayor Ginther put out a message earlier in the month. This is before the strike, talking about that he hoped, you know, a resolution could be reached without a strike. And he said, quote, "No one wins from a strike." A little bit ago, you just described, you know, this resolution. We don't have the details yet, but, you know, generally speaking, as a win and a good deal. I just wonder if maybe you could expound that, you know, do you see the strike as having been the driver of this win? And do you think the strike was worth it in that sense?
Well, we never wanted to get to the point of a strike. You know, it is a huge sacrifice on our part, and also on our students' part to not be in school at this time. But sometimes you have to take it all the way to the level in order for people to realize just how strong and just how compassionate you are. And to get, you know, those who've kind of closed their eyes to the reality of what's going on to really see you. So in that case, and in that incident, the strike, I feel, and we feel, had its effect. And I don't think anyone, if the contract, it's what they're telling us it is, I don't think anyone is going to have any regrets.
And a follow-up from Megan Henry with the Dispatch.
Hi, yes, I just had a quick question. So it sounds like there is no location, day or time for the mass meeting, since you're trying to figure out how to accommodate so many people on such short notice. When do you expect to have those details?
So we are working vigorously to try and get this scheduled up. It has to be done by the end of the night Sunday, because we want to be back in the classroom with all of our kids on Monday. So I'm confident, and we're confident that, you know, that we can do this, and we will do this, so that you guys will know and our community will know no later than Sunday evening.
Okay, are there any additional questions? If there are, now's the time to raise your hand. Excellent. Not seeing any more. We want to thank all of you for participating today and for the coverage of what we are considering a historic labor movement event. And also, as Regina mentioned, when we do have the meeting, as we have in the past couple meetings, we will have a media event, a press conference of sorts immediately following, where Regina will be available for comment. So when we do have that information, we will share it with you, and we will let you know when you'll be able to participate in another press conference. Thank you again.
Thank you, everyone.